Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to highlight another yarn store that my husband took me to when we went on our road trip. This one's in North Platte, Nebraska. We did, for everyone that's new and doesn't know about this, my husband and I just did a road trip recently. And we just traveled a bit through Nebraska, and we ended up going to 6 yarn stores. And he was very, very patient with me for the first so many. And then he got a little fed up, but that is okay. So the second yarn store that we went to is Prairie Knits. Prairie Hand Knits. And that is, let me see if I can get that picture up for the outside of their store. That is what the outside looked like. So that was the second one. We went to Eccentric Lamb Fiber Arts first in Ogallala, Nebraska, and then we continued on up to Prairie Hand Knits, and we were excited. Well, I was excited. My husband was driving, so there you go. You know, that made it even better. What we didn't take into account was the time change. We left Colorado, we left our house pretty close to noon, and we're like, okay, well, it should be about a 4-hour drive, somewhere around there, to get to North Platte. Now, granted, we did stop at the Eccentric Lamb Fiber Arts first. Now, we didn't stay for a long time. That was our first stop. And there was an hour change. So we got to the Prairie Hand Knits at like 5:25. Their hours stated they closed at 5:30, but she was already locked up and gone. I know, sad day, right? We didn't, like I said, didn't take into account that hour change. We knew there was an hour change, but it just didn't dawn on us that, hey, you know, the store might not be open, right? Because we were like, oh, well, you know, it's 4 o'clock. We've got a full hour, and it's, you know, just right down the road. It's not even 30 minutes for, you know, it's good. Okay. Well, we ended up spending the night at North Platte. We got a hotel. We spent the night at North Platte and got up in the morning and everything. It's like, okay, they open at 10:30. No, they don't open at 10:30. One of the sites, you know, check the websites and call. All I'm going to say, right? Some of their sites said 10:30, others said 11:30. On their door, it did say 11:30. So I'm like, okay, we needed to continue on. We just did. We had other things that we had planned, and we had different places to go to. And I'm like, but I really, you know, we drove by and I saw the place, you know, from outside. I'm like, I really want to go. And there happened to be a gaming store right across the street. So hubby went to the gaming store, and he's like, I'll just meet you when you're done with the yarn store. And that's when I found out it was closed when we first got there. So the next day he went to the gaming store, because we got there a little bit before 10:30, thinking they were going to open at 10:30. And it's like, hey, look, there's a lot of cars in the parking lot now. It's not empty. Yeah, okay, that should be open. Well, I looked online and I saw that they weren't supposed to open until 11:30. I did walk across the street, yeah, and checked, and she was there. The owner was there. The door was unlocked. No, I didn't break in. That'd be wrong. But the owner was there talking with a couple other people about something town-related, internet, etc. I'm not really sure. That's their business. But they let me come in, and that was fantastic. So I have some pictures of their store. Her store is packed. And I just checked and verified she does not really have that internet presence. She commented that it's a little difficult to compete with the internet because she's not on the internet. She has a Facebook page, right? But not detailed on what she has. She had a wall stuffed from Lamb's Pride. If you like Lamb's Pride worsted weight, I mean, she had a wall stuffed. She had needles. She had weaving supplies, rigid heddle. She had all sorts of stuff. She had Susan Bates needles, the Quicksilver ones. Ooh, where did I put those? I did get some of those. I did, and they're not sitting right here. She had a lot of things. She had some yarns that she had Premier yarns, so she had some Premier yarn. She had name brand yarn. She had some Malabrigo yarn. She had a lot of stuff. That place was packed. I would have liked to have stayed longer, but like I said, we did show up an hour before she opened, and they let us in. You know, she let us in, and of course I bought some stuff. Of course I did, and it was nice talking. We did chat. I got local stuff. I do like to, when I go places, get something that's local. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that I like the different lotions and stuff like that. I've got the lanolin cream that I got at the first store, and yeah, you can get this one online. She does have this. This is the Sheepest Grins Lanolin Cream, lavender for dry, cracked, or callous skin. And yeah, you can go to Eccentric Lamb Fiber Arts, and they do carry that online. So this one, it would be wonderful if they did have it. But this is a local in their town in North Platte, a young person who raises bees, and it is one of the little bars, right? So I'm like, oh yes, I must have that. This is the Sassy Pants Smoothie Lotion Bar. We know, do not let the children touch the lotion bar. This is you are Smoothie, external use only, of course. And there is a phone number on here. Ingredients: beeswax, cocoa butter, shea butter, almond oil, aloe oil, jojoba, vitamin E oil, argan oil, and essential oil. Sassy Pants Honeybee. And opening it, it smells amazing. And it's just, oh, that is so cool with a little honeycomb. This was $7.99. And hey, she put her phone number on there as a business thing. So I don't know the lady who makes these, but the number, I'll put that down in the description box if you're interested. I will put her information for the Smoothie Lotion Bar. Like I said, $7.99 is what I paid for it. Smells fantastic. Haven't used it yet because, you know, it's got that pretty imprint. Look at that. It's so pretty. And we know I am with the bees. We know it's a thing. We know that's a thing. So, of course, I had to go that route. Like I said, I did get another set of double-pointed needles. Susan Bates, the Quicksilver. You don't see them very often. They're just good. They just do what they're supposed to do. They're not a fancy needle. They're not an expensive needle. They're not pretentious in any way. They just do what they're supposed to do. So when I find them, I generally get another set. So I did get a set of those, but they're in one of my other bags, and I didn't realize that. But what I do have is the yarn I got. Hubby grabbed this. He gravitated towards this. Because we didn't get to see the store the night before, and we had a lot of other plans for the rest of the day. Yeah, we did. We ended up hitting 5 stores in one day. He was a little cranky. So this was the first one, and this one set us off late because we were supposed to have seen it the night before and gotten up early and started on our trip, but it's okay. So he picked this yarn out for me, and I don't think it will surprise anybody who's seen this channel for any length of time. He found the Malabrigo yarn. He's like, ooh, this is pretty. I'm like, yeah, you found the Malabrigo. I mean, as soon as he picked it up, I knew what it was. Come on, I knew what it was. This is the Malabrigo sock yarn, 440 yards, fingering weight. Oh yeah, he knows me. And it is superwash, I believe it's, yep, kettle dyed, superwash merino wool, machine wash, and cold water dry flat. And this is the 850 colorway Archangel. Or Archangel. There you go. So that is gorgeous. Do we recognize this color? Have we seen this color recently? Oh, I think we have. So it was a couple weeks ago now, I think, I went to You and Me. You and Me is closing their doors the 30th of September. So I don't know what they have left anymore. They are a yarn store in Colorado Springs. They do have an online presence. They were keeping that very up to date. So if you're interested, go online. You might be able to snag a good deal. Everything was 50% off. I don't know what it is now. It was then. So this is the Archangel of the Malabrigo sock. What I got from their store was, oh yeah, the same colorway, the Archangel with the worsted, and this is a worsted weight, 210 yards, 100 grams, and it is, what did I just say? What am I looking? 100% superwash merino. So here's your worsted weight, the same colorway, the same dyer, and and both of them are the superwash, right? And then here's the fingering. And I like to see the difference. You can really tell with the different yarn varieties, how the yarn picks it up, right? I love just the saturation that you get with the fingering weight. But fingering weight also is one of my favorites, so that could be it. But that is, if you're ever wondered what they look like on the different bases, this is the same exact colorway. This one I got at the Prairie Hand Knits on our yarn store tour, and this one I got as a sad goodbye to you and me. That is one thing over the years, and it's been a decade plus now that I have done that, is when a local yarn store does go out of business, I do try to go, and even if that wasn't one that I went to a whole bunch, I do try to go before they close their doors and throw as much money as I can afford, right? I know my bills, at them. You know, everyone has different opinions and everything on that. It is kind of like a farewell, a goodbye. I'm sorry you're going out of business, and let me help you remove some of that stock off your shelves, because they don't want to take that with them. They don't want to. They just don't. So that is something that I have definitely done, and I have little pieces of all the different stores as far as that goes. And yeah, it'll be sad to see them go. Right now, to my knowledge, there's no more stores in Colorado Springs, Colorado. No more yarn stores. They've all closed their doors. 2 of them closed their that I'm aware of closed their doors this year. So we are losing different yarn stores. So it's important to highlight these places. And if you're traveling, if you're going someplace, try to go and stop in for the yarn store. When I talked with the owner, and I cannot remember her name offhand, and I apologize for that, when she was like, hey, where are you guys coming from? So we're traveling. It's like, oh, Souvenirs Yarn, right? Oh, definitely. She's my people. She understood. Yeah, of course I had to get a souvenir skein of yarn and some local bee pollen stuff and more knitting needles, right? I got some size 1s. I told my husband that I didn't need this because I already had the same color with this, and he said, yes, but you don't have it in fingering weight. Yeah, he knows me. He's like, now you have it in fingering weight, so you can make some socks. Yeah, I have made socks out of the Malabrigo sock yarn before, and it does say superwash. Yes, you can wash it. I gave a pair to my son. It was funny, one year we had a fest downtown, and there's a yarn store that was nearby, so we went in, and there was Malabrigo is just gorgeous the way they dye their yarns, and this was just deep saturated blues with the gray, the black, and oh, it was just amazing. So he bought that for me for my birthday, and then for Christmas I knit him socks out of that. And yes, they are superwash. Yes, you can wash them, but you really should be a little bit more gentle than some of my other hard wearing sock yarns. So he washed them, he threw them in the dryer. No special anything, because I make socks for him every year. They don't necessarily remember that, hey, these are the gentle ones. Be nice to these. These you can do anything with, right? So they did shrink. So they started off as his, and they faded quite a bit, and they did shrink. But again, he was not gentle in the wash or the dry cycle, okay? It just, you know, I'm not disparaging the yarn. He was not gentle. So they shrunk and they faded, and it was kind of funny because then they ended up fitting me. So they went from the size 13 foot to him down to a size 9. They shrunk. They were like a thick felted almost. They were pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. They were pretty amazing. But you know, your mileage may vary. You know, it's a nice yarn. Maybe not being so rough with it. Will I make socks with it again? Sure, yeah. And if they get destroyed, they get destroyed. I mean, I know that sounds absolutely terrible, but I've got a lot of beautiful yarn. And you know, if I keep waiting for the good thing, well, then it's gonna be on my shelf. And then when I'm finally gone and not here anymore, someone else is going to be going, what is this? That's going to end up in Goodwill. I mean, that's just how that goes, right? Use the good stuff, right? And you know, I know there's channels that are looking at that right now. Lynette from Charm Granny, Linan from Nina's Knots Crochet, and there's some other ones that are doing their special reserve yarn stuff right now on their channel. They've got all sorts of cool things. And the whole concept of that is use the good stuff. You bought it. Use it. Stop leaving it on the shelf. You can do it. So yeah, I've got fun stuff with this, with the fingering weight. I've got 4 of these in the worsted weight that I can play with. You know, it's the good stuff. Use the good stuff. Have fun, enjoy life, and enjoy crafting. And if you get a chance to do any road trips and check out the different yarn stores wherever you go, like I said, we're traveling. We live in Colorado. This is Nebraska I'm talking about. And it was so much fun because everybody carries different things. Something excites them differently, right? Because we all have different colors that we gravitate towards and different opinions and different yarns that we think are amazing. It is such a wonderful experience to be able to walk into that many different yarn stores and touch and see and to realize what they brought in and what they thought would be something that us, right? Us, their customers might enjoy. So I had a blast. That was the second yarn store. I'll go ahead and I'll put the information in the description box for this. I'll put the information for the store itself, their phone number and everything else, and go ahead, check them out. Throughout the entire yarn tour that I've done, I will do that. Give them a call, give them some love. All right, everybody, with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.